Great. So I'm going to go ahead and get us kicked off. Today I'm really going to cover some of the topics that IBM has been introducing for the last year or so, particularly around our strategy within multi-cloud, more so the ladder to AI, and ultimately we're going to focus on Cloud Pak for Data. So let's go ahead and get started. Really appreciate everybody's time. So what we're going to cover today is going to start off with a brief overview of why the industry has been changing and what has been causing a lot of the changes that are currently ongoing within analytics, within data science and AI. Going to touch on what Cloud Pak for Data is, IBM's approach to, our prescriptive approach to addressing how customers can become a multi-cloud and AI-centric company. And that's going to really revolve around three different things, which is the ability to collect data, the ability to organize that data, and then to analyze that data and infuse it into your analytic projects. So all of that is really going to revolve around the ladder to AI. And so before I even jump into why change, I want to kind of address what IBM's prescriptive approach has been to getting to AI. And that's really, as I said, around these four phases of collecting data, making it simple and easy to access, organizing it, and analyzing it, and then infusing it into your applications, wherever they may be, whether that's on-premise or in the cloud, so that you can have real-time data being fed and used for all of your decision-making criteria. So why change? What has really changed within analytics and within data? To really kind of get straight to kind of the point here, there's been some really big challenges that our customers have been facing around how they are modernizing their infrastructures. And what I mean by that is customers today are at a point where they're starting to look at their data lakes and they're looking at their data warehousing strategies, and they're coming to understand that their analytic projects aren't nearly where they anticipated or they expected them to be when they initially made these investments. The data lakes have become data swamps, and data warehouses are just siloed and duplicated and very, very difficult to manage. And when we talked with them, and there was a report that was done in in Gartner recently in the first quarter, over 1,000 companies were surveyed, and 90% of them stated that they had a very low analytic maturity rate, which isn't saying that they're failing in their analytic jobs, but more so that they're just not getting the value that they had anticipated. And the reason for that is coming down to 3 points. The first one is, as I mentioned, centralized data. All of our customers and in standard industry kind of discussion is this warehousing or this data lake strategy where you aggregate all the data into one central repository so that you can use it for future jobs, whether it's creating dashboards, visualizations, getting some insight from. And that's created an extreme bottleneck that's making it difficult to take advantage of all of the data. The second has been around rework, which is simply stating that a lot of the time data scientists, data stewards, data engineers are spending a lot of their time doing a lot of rework, whether that's standing up new environments, whether that's doing some manual processes of the data massaging and ensuring the data quality is accurate and the data lineage is accurate. A lot of that is being either done through rework or through some manual and slow processes, which is the second and third challenge that we're facing, right? So whether that means whether that means the data scientists and data stewards are spending time standing up new environments for whatever projects they may want to focus on, or whether that means they're spending their time massaging and cleaning the data, either way, they're still spending a majority of their time doing tasks that aren't driving value for the organization. They're not creating AI projects, they're not creating insights, they're simply doing a lot of rework, manual, and slow processes. And so we set out to address these particular challenges with our Cloud Pak for Data platform. And the way that which we wanted to do that is first by applying something called data virtualization, which is simply saying, leave your data where it is. Stop moving your data around from one data lake to another data lake, and keep it where it is and just be able to access it when you need to instantly. Second challenge has been around addressing rework. So providing a platform where you can instantly spin up new environments and be able to have the flexibility to spin them down when you're not using them, and to do this continuously. So you don't have to spend 70 to 80% of your time simply going through these processes that can kind of be automated and simplified. And that's the same thing for the manual and slow processes, right? Applying some of the AI machine learning capabilities to take care of the manual tasks that some of the data scientists is currently doing and to free up their time to focus on projects that are going to actually drive value for the organization. And when you do these three things and you do them in an integrated fashion, customers have seen a lot of success coming from that, and they see the maturity of their analytic projects increasing significantly. So how have we addressed that? The platform which IBM has created is called Cloud Pak for Data. And in a sense, if you all have an understanding of what IBM used to do and how our analytics portfolio was once established, you understand that we had solutions for various challenges our customers face within data management, within governance and integration, and within their data science and business analytics world. And we would offer, as you can see down here, individual solutions, whether it's DB2 and the DB2 warehouse capabilities for the data management, whether it is info server or master data management for the governance integration to make sure that the integration fluid is there, to leverage some of the advanced machine learning capabilities. And so that approach, which worked very well, was becoming a little bit difficult to manage as organizations began to move on to the cloud and began to expand their workloads. And so what IBM has done is simplified our offerings into a single offering, which we called Cloud Pak for Data. So instead of offering individual tools and individual solutions to our customers and then asking them to be the service integrators and to put it together themselves and to make sure that they can put their data management capabilities within their organization capabilities to create some sort of an enterprise-wide platform, we said, allow us to do that for you. We integrated those capabilities together. We made it run very seamlessly together. And what that has allowed us to do is create a platform of microservices that are focused on all of the capabilities and functionalities that an organization needs to work, to collect their data, to organize that data, and to analyze that data. To make it simple, easy, and effective to find out where the data is, to ensure that you have trust and transparency within that data, and then to ultimately be able to create insights or to create some sort of machine learning and AI assets to help you drive revenue for your organization. And so this is a high-level architectural diagram of Cloud Pak for Data. And the first thing I want you all to kind of get a sense of understanding is this bottom layer right here. So IBM is dedicated to hybrid cloud, to multi-cloud strategies. And what we have done with our platform is allow our customers to run our solutions on any cloud they want to. What that means is you can take Cloud Pak for Data, which includes capabilities, again, to collect, organize, and analyze all of your data, no matter where it is. And you could put it on Azure, or you could put it on AWS. And actually, if you go onto AWS right now, you can even spin up your own free 90-day environment to play around with and to get an understanding of. And of course, we can install it on-premise in your own data centers. Now, I talked a lot about these three capabilities to collect, organize, analyze, and how essentially we are moving away from individual solutions to specific microservices that give you the same functionalities and capabilities. And that's really being powered by Red Hat OpenShift. And so if anybody here understands, in the last year, IBM has been making this huge strategy move, this push of acquiring Red Hat OpenShift and integrating it, some of their capabilities and solutions within our own portfolio. What Red Hat OpenShift allows us to do is to take an application and put it within a container and offer it as a microservice to our customers. Meaning you can take, if I go into here, you can take something like Cognos Analytics, and you could break it down into two capabilities, which is reporting and dashboarding. And you could put them in their own individual containers, right? And what you, in a sense, have is this microservice application. So you take the Cognos, the reporting particular capability, you can put it on this Kubernetes layer. Then you could take this dashboarding capability and put that on a Kubernetes layer. And then you could take something else like InfoSphere, which has a lot of organization capabilities and data management capabilities, and containerize that and have it running alongside, the reporting and the dashboarding capability. So Whereas before, it used to be an individual solution, which you would have to buy out of the box by itself, stand up by yourself, and integrate it with the rest of your applications and everything else by yourself. And this is where your data scientists, your data stewards are doing a lot of the reuse of, or excuse me, spending a lot of their time standing up environments and integrating things. We said, we'll do that for you. So you have, in a sense, then this integrated platform being powered by that Red Hat, right, which is what allowing us to do this. You can put that on any cloud you want to. Now, in addition to that, you have some add-on capabilities. So the way I really like to think about this is in the same sense of an iPhone. When you buy an iPhone, you are going to the Apple Store, you choose the iPhone that you want, you get it in a box, you pull it out of your box, and all of the applications that you need are already in there. You don't have to go and integrate and make an app and make sure it's available within the iPhone. It's already there, right? So you have text messaging, you have your FaceTiming, you have your phone calling, you have your emailing, all of those weather app, all of those capabilities are right there in your phone, which is what our collect, organize, and analyze are essentially doing. You have everything you need within this pillar, within this platform, to actually run your analytics organization. But in addition to that, we understand our customers are very different, and some of them have different needs and capability requirements than others. So we created this add-on section. And so the same way, if I go back to this iPhone analogy, and we think of, hey, I have this iPhone and it's great, and I can do emailing and texting and phone calling and FaceTiming, but what if I want to use Twitter? What if I want to use Instagram? What if I want to use, whatever other apps that I like to use? What about that? Right? You go to the App Store and you download the app, and then you have it in your phone, and you can use it seamlessly. Well, that's what our add-on store up here is. If the capabilities that are built into our platform aren't suitable for what you're looking for, you can then go to the add-on store and choose, hey, maybe I need MongoDB. Maybe I need Cognos. Maybe I want to build a custom capability or requirement, and I want to be able to spin it up within this microservice integrated platform. That is also an option. So that is, in a sense, what this Red Hat OpenShift layer has allowed us to do, is to get rid of the logging, the monitoring, the identity access management requirements for running something like this, and containerize all those applications so that our end users, our customers, aren't worrying about that so much, and they're focused more on just building AI tools and assets that they need. Now, I've talked a lot about how we do that. Let's actually look at what those microservices are. So those three things, collect, organize, and analyze, as I mentioned before, are all being powered by some previous IBM solution or some current IBM solution. So in collect, we have some things called data virtualization, which I'll talk about in a moment. We have some data warehousing capabilities. We have databases on demand that you can spin up, and we have some distributed processing. So all of this is being powered by our DB2 technologies. Now, when we look at organize, you have capabilities to help you discover and search for data within your platform, to do some data transformation, some data cataloging. You can apply policies and rules and manage them in terms of how you want to use the data to make sure you're either compliant with whether it's GDPR regulations or state regulations or just internal regulations to your own company. And all of that is being powered by InfoSphere and DataStage and Information Governance Catalog and Watson Knowledge Catalog. So just in this organized pillar here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 different solutions which we were able to containerize and offer as microservices alongside the DB2 technologies that are powering collect. Now we look at the analyze pillar and we understand that there's tools to help you do visualization, there's tools to help you do some machine learning, and there's tools to help you do some dashboarding and model management as well. And again, this is being powered by Watson Studio and Cognos. So just within this single realm, what's coming out of the box, right, the foundational capabilities, you can see that you have various capabilities that will help you understand where your data is and connect to it, that can help you understand what your data is and how you should use it, and that can help you actually apply your data and drive insights and value and revenue from it. Now, the add-ons, as I talked about, are available within the platform as well. And this is just a snapshot of some of the add-ons that we see here. And to be able to actually take advantage of these, it's extremely easy. Come onto our add-ons section, which is, this little button up here, and you would essentially be able to spin it up and install it right within the platform so that you can take advantage of them too. Now, in our earlier slide, I talked a little bit about something called data virtualization. This is one of the fundamentally new capabilities within the platform that is really powering how we are collecting data, how we are understanding where our data is and making connections to it. So data virtualization is a way for you to be able to query anything anywhere it is. You can very easily and simply connect to a few devices or as many devices as you want, and you can avoid the complexity of centralized copy because the data is only going to persist at the source, which means we are not moving the data, we are not making a copy of the data, we are simply saying this is where the data exists, and I just want to make sure I have a view of it so I can take advantage of that data for whatever other purposes I need to. Now, the fundamental difference between what data virtualization is and what we have historically offered in the marketplace as historically offered and what is available for most other competitors is something called data federation. And I want to be able to spend just a minute here making sure we all understand the differences between data federation and data virtualization. So up here, we see data federation. And essentially the way this works is when you issue a query and you say, I want to find out something about demographics across all of my various data sources, what you are typically doing is you're issuing this query, which goes to a coordinator, and then it will go out to each and every one of these individual nodes or data sources, and it'll bring back this data for you. Now, you're issuing a query to every single one of these nodes, right? That's typically the way it works today, where you have to do a different query for every single node. And then once you get that data back, what typically will happen is you issued a query to, say, this node here, and you said, give me information about my customers between the ages of 18 and 29. Well, instead of bringing you back the unique individuals and information, it's going to bring back all relevant information. Same thing with this node and this node and this node. So when you end up finishing that query, you may have 50,000 rows of data, and only about 5,000 of that is unique or from various different schemas, right? With our computational mesh, what we are suggesting is you issue a query, and instead of the query, this one query that you issue, which you only have to issue one, it'll go out to the edge nodes, and it'll create this constellation mesh around all of your different data nodes. And what you do is when it goes to the edges, this query, it can distribute some of that work and ensure that it's not bringing you back, non-unique information. You're only getting back the relevant information. So instead of 50,000 rows of data, maybe you're only getting back 500 or 5,000. And in a sense, again, because you're not doing any of the work back here on the coordinator of the aggregation of the data and the joining of the data, and it's being done sort of out here on the edge, you get higher performance and higher scalability with virtualization than you would with federation. Now, how about organizing the data, right? So we've collected the data, we understand where our data is, we know how we got it. How about organizing it? How do I make sure that goes through? Well, in addition to this virtualization that we talked about, we have the standard ETL process that you can also use to schedule jobs and so on. So let's say you are ABC company and you have data sources from all of these various different places. Yes, you can use your ETL tools to kind of bring that data onto the platform, and you can also use the auto-discover capabilities to virtualize that data and bring it onto the platform. But then what? Then you can do some profiling of the data to classify it and assign terminologies. You can define data governance objectives of what you want to achieve and what kind of quality should reach. You can do some curation of that data, as well as enforcing policies and rules around that data, whether that's to be compliant with GDPR regulations or state or local or internal company regulations. And also, you can do some measuring and monitoring it. And finally, once you have thoroughly done some cleansing and massaging of the data, you can put that data in a central metadata catalog. What that means is you took data from all sorts of different source places. You have cleaned all of that data up, right, through the profiling and classifying and policy enforcement and measuring and monitoring. You have some data lineage on there as well. And then you could put all of that data in a central catalog. So when your data scientist comes to you and they say, I need ABC data set so I can create this or this or this, you're not then going out there and spending your time as a data steward or as a data engineer trying to find all of those different connections and trying to find, where that data is and what asset it is and how you can connect it to this or that. You've already done all that work. So then the data scientist just comes to the data catalog and bam, it's available for them there and they can kind of move forward with it. So let's say that you've gone through that process of understanding where your data is. You've collected it, you put it through the organization process, so now you know you can trust this data and it's sitting in a central repository, central catalog for your data scientists to leverage. Well then, now they can come, your data scientists, and they can use any one of the various capabilities that are built into this platform, whether that's Watson Studio to help you build those machine learning models or whatever it is, or whether they want to be able to deploy some, you have those capabilities. You also have some open source frameworks such as Jupyter Notebooks, RStudio, and TensorFlow that a lot of other data scientists have come to love over the past few years, and those two are built into the platform. We provide integration with GitHub as well as any other kind of GitHub-like project management applications. So to give you a final overview of the architectural diagram, I want to just reiterate one particular topic here. And that is the fact that Cloud Pak for Data is this integrated platform. It is not a platform that is providing pinpoint solutions for various capabilities. It is a platform that has everything built into it that allows our customers, our end users, to focus simply on what projects they want to work on, and then determining which microservices they need in order to fulfill the requirements of that project. So if you look here, just giving you another high-level overview, what you're seeing here is everything that's built into the platform, right? From ingestion and integration, all of the different tools historically, which may have been offered individually, that are now offered as a single unit in the platform. You have the streams, which helps you kind of do fast data ingestion, analytics in motion. You have the data virtualization, which we talked about, as well as all of these various other tools that you can use to kind of complete your analytic projects. And all of this pre-integrated and available, whether it's on private cloud, on-premise, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, and anybody else that you really need. So that is the, I believe, cusp of this demonstration here and this point. So I'll pause there and I'll stop talking for a moment and I'll see if there are any questions, comments, anything I can go back to and highlight maybe a little bit more in detail. All right. I'm not seeing any comments or questions. There is Q&A box on the bottom right if anybody does have any comments or questions. Otherwise, I do appreciate everybody's time who joined today and everybody who will listen to this. So thank you all.